Those is the Rohan Rage and playing some pretty good hockey lately.
Unbeaten since November the 9th, would you believe it, Bart? That's been a long time. About a stretch of 8 games, grabbing at least a point in one of those or all of those games. However, their issue, grabbing 2 points, and that's been a stumbling block, that is, a little tricky because, of course, this time around, they have as many wins as they do ties. And that's going to help you out in the standings. Of course, they tried to earn 2 points against the Leduc Oil Kings at the Civic Center. And we'll pick it up late in the second period. Things are tied up at 2 apiece. Jackson Kolaski will go through Leduc's D and rifles it top shelf to put the Rage up 3-2 after 40. So in the third, Rage power play. Parker Soretsky turns, fires, and scores, beating Western Cardwell home team up by 2. Now Chase Wouters brought in from the major midgets to help out a few cracks down low, but it stayed a 2-goal lead. Leduc would respond minutes later. Tanner Hickey's shot hits the post, but Bryn Pankowitz puts away the rebound. Rage lead cut to 1. Then with just 3 minutes left in the game, Mackenzie Harden will equalize for the Oil Kings, and that would be your final. 4-4 the score.
Our effort today was very, very suspect at best. We showed some signs midway through the game that we wanted to be here, but just not happy with the effort today.
You know what, I think we just sat back. We just sat back and stopped playing. We just let them come to us, and we weren't stepping out. We stopped playing our game.
Sticking with Bantam hockey, you know that young kid we just showed you, Chase Wouters? Well, he did double duty yesterday. Not only did he play for the Rage, he also suited up for his own team, the Foremost Heat, later in the afternoon. They were facing the Grand Prairie Storm. Heat draw first blood after a bad clearing attempt. Kalen Becker will keep and beat Matt Bauer's glove side, 1-0 Heat. But the Storm would respond just 12 seconds later. Madden Tariff just camping out the doorstep, and he ties it up. Now, the Storm with possession, but a giveaway in the neutral zone leads to this. Tanner Barnes, partial break. He decides to go 5-hole to restore the Heat lead. Second period, Wouters pass goes off a skate right to Chase Haygarth. That's his team leading 18th goal of the season, 3-1. That's just the beginning. Now 4-1 Heat, Wouters going coast to coast for his first goal of the contest. Early third, he will get goal number 2. And we wish we could show you, but Wouters was just too quick for our cameras, scoring his hat-trick goal just 15 seconds later. Now Oren Centazzo puts the icing on the cake on a huge 8-1 victory over the Storm, a big boost after some tough losses in recent weeks.
I think it's what the boys needed, really, and sometimes we give a good effort and we're not able to score. So tonight to be able to bury 8 was really good, and some secondary scoring, but also our first line played really well too. So
it proves how much we've improved since the last time we played them. It's good to get to the 4-point weekend before Christmas. We played really good. We had lots of good shots, got some goals. It was good.
Heck of a performance by Wouters. Speaking of great performances, how about the weather forecast by Gerard Lampow? You haven't seen it? Well, just tune in just a few moments. Whatever the level, there is nothing more loved in Lloydminster than the Junior A Bobcats, a team that went above expectations making the playoffs last season, to being named the host of the 2016 RBC Cup, to bringing a familiar face to the coaching ranks. We caught up with the coaches of the Bobcats and got their thoughts on the first half of the season. I'm here at the Canadian Brew House with Gord Thibodeau and Garry VanHereweghe, the coaches for the team. And of course, we kind of joked around earlier in the season. I know both of you guys are very headstrong. Both of you guys are great coaches. How is it working with each other? Has the honeymoon phase kind of ended, or what's going on?
Yeah, no, actually it came together real well. And like I say, we've both been in the hockey business for a few years, and you do things a little bit differently, but we found a way to join that together and certainly on the same page. I think we see the game a lot the same way and certainly share that. So it has been very good. It's came together faster than I expected.
You know, it's finding the roles basically, you know, understanding what one guy's strong at and, you know, what the other guy's strong at and combining those two. And we've been pretty good with that. And, you know, Gary's taken the lead on some of the things and I've taken the lead on some of the others. And been very good about sharing that, and you know, I think it's worked very well so far.
And you've seen the great, I guess, chemistry between you two. How's that kind of translated with the team? I know we'll start with the beginning. It was a little bit of a slow start for you guys, but then all of a sudden in October and parts of November, you guys really picked it up. Kind of discuss like what was working right for you guys at that point.
I think everything. I mean, we were a younger team and we knew there was going to be some obstacles and some bumps in the road, and early we hit those and we expected to hit those, but found a way to get around them. And I think defensively we came together very well. The defensive zone and defensive responsibility amongst the guys and as a team, and we became one of the better in the Alberta Junior Hockey League. And you know, we had a very, very strong October where we went 8-2, and primarily as a result of goaltending in our defensive zone, and we found a way to score enough goals to win games.
It's not easy for a coach to do double duties, and the stresses that go with it, trying to find that chemistry, trying to find the roles. If things aren't working, trying to find other ways outside of trading to get that going or bringing in a player. Talk about the stresses that come with that job.
Coaching's hard enough without having to do, what a lot of people don't see is there's so much work that's done through the office and through the community, and Garry's, you know, he's up on that, and he's doing a lot of that work also. And your coaching duties don't stop. They go 24 hours a day sometimes. And like I said, I know that Garry's plate is pretty full, so you just try to pick up what you can. And it's hard to change, you know. Garry's been doing this for years, and he's got his own system. And you know, sometimes it's that old theory where if you want it done, you got to do it yourself. You know, every coach has that mentality. And you know, I'm just trying to make sure that I can help in any way that he needs it.
Considering what's transpired on December 1st, it was the AJHL cut-down day, and for that, you're limited with the amount of cards you're allowed, 25 per team. So there's a lot of tinkering that goes along with, and of course you had Tyler Coons at that point. How difficult was it to trade a 20-year-old who was so impactful for the team defensively as well as offensively, leading your team in scoring at that time?
Everybody's in there with different goals and different obstacles they're trying to get around to get the acquired people that they want. We're in the same boat, and certainly, you know, with Tyler going to Prince George, we wanted to acquire a defenseman back, and we didn't get a defenseman back in that deal this year. We certainly got some futures that will be a big part of the organization next year, but we got a forward in return for this year. And when you give up a defenseman like Coons, that's a big hole to fill. So that meant we had to try and see if we could put something together pretty well at the last minute where we could acquire that defenseman we need right now, and that meant giving up a quality forward. And Eric Therrien involved in a three-way deal with ourselves and a Saskatchewan team in Drayton Valley. And I mean, we got our defenseman, and Drayton Valley got the forward that certainly they wanted and demanded, and the Saskatchewan team got the player out of Drayton Valley. So it's tough enough with two teams trying to sort it out. When you get three teams in there and you've still got outside influences, it really gets tough.
All right, guys, I want to say thank you so much for coming out here and taking the time to talk to me. That is Gord, Thibodeau, Garry, VanHereweghe, coaches with the Lloydminster Bobcats.